what's going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So this is part 15 of the beef ravioli run as far as what's first going to happen. So in this particular episode, we defeat the stone golem and get towards the further concepts of the game. So it's not going to really particularly happen in this episode because I do get kind of stuck after defeating this boss here. But it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying in the next episode we are going to get to like the volcano area, which is probably going to have the new. It's going to be the same dragon boss, but I'm not sure as to what variation of it it's going to wind up being. It's just the pitch as far as saying. So in the previous episode, the gameplay ran out because my phone ran out of space, but particularly it was just another 3 or 4 or so minutes of just like fighting this boss, and the boss wound up winning as far as those players going to happen with this. So it's just good Titanic defeating this here. But this was kind of a tougher boss as far as those players going to win. Now, I imagine that the Dark King, within a certain sense, is why I stocked up on 99 seeds and 99 potions, all that good stuff, just because the pitch, just in case of any sort of trickery, because I think for the format, this game kind of assumes that most people are probably not going to level up to level 99. I think it just would be too much of a cakewalk. I can imagine the concept if like the zone character did actually get to even probably level 50 or 60, something like that. I think he'd probably knock out this particular boss, just supposing you have like the fluidity to want to do the grind work. I mean, it definitely has the format. I think there's enough of these battlefields, but the thing about it is like it really doesn't even feel like within the fair like the battlefields are really gonna. I mean, it just would pretty much be endless grind. I think if I were to do every battlefield, all 10 of the fights in each of these that are left within the game as to how they happen, I really think Zone would probably only get to maybe 32 or 33 if he was lucky within the pitch behind. I just would have to say it's just kind of the format that. Supposing that your final party member, the highest stage that she gets to is just 34, it's kind of within the pitch as far as saying. But I mean, it's just within the typical type fair. I mean, you just look after it, so it's just the pitch as far as saying. But yeah. You have to be very particular about fighting this boss here, just because the aspect behind it is just the fact that he can pummel, because Phoebe cannot level up. It's kind of the concept if you're not careful, it can pretty much, it only would probably take 2 turns for him to wipe out Phoebe, and if like there's some sort of like aspect where the main character's zone has to heal or something like that, it's kind of within the format as far as saying that you can find yourself with only one party member within a relative quickness. This the fashion is just, it really is that simple to get wiped out within this particular game as far as those first games. So I really question what these next 2 boss fights after this are going to be, because I realize I mean, from what I don't remember the dragon fight from 2018 as much full bound. I do, like from what I briefly remember, that was kind of a pain in the ass as far as those first gonna went, but I think probably it may take a little bit lengthier, but I think within the pitch it should be relatively simple enough. But I do remember the wind tower boss, and that one's probably going to be relatively annoying if it has like the same format that it did in like the stone. I'm hoping that it's not going to be within the format of having to like however that was where you could only fight him on like level 3. I don't remember how that particular one. There was like a certain way you couldn't just attack him normally. You had to do some sort of magic or something like that. There's like some sort of rhythm to how you had to fight that boss, and I don't know how that's going to happen when we get to that. It's just interesting stuff. This is entirely new to me within these fashions. I did at least watch this playthrough. Like I think I've watched like either like Newfie Bonga or like Nintendo, Capri Sun, some of those types of people who played through some of these types of games with an aspect within certain senses, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying I just don't remember it. It's probably been since like 2012, 2014, some of those type of years of the pitch. Just not I mean, this is a game that I return to within a certain sense, but it's just kind of the aspect I have some degree of memories, but not as complex. It's a very secondary game to me within those pitches within the formats. I mean, obviously the main staples, like when you think of like Super Mario for the Super Nintendo, and some of the Donkey Kong games, and like Chrono Trigger, some of those type ones within the format of it. But this is the Super Nintendo Zelda, some of those type pitches within the format. It's just kind of the format as far as saying that there's a little bit more here and there, but I mean, this is a banner enough game. I'd say within the pitch, just within, I mean, in a casual type fashion, you'd have to say within the pitch, it kind of has like. This is not Final Fantasy VIII within those pitches. You're not going to be quoting this dude as far as saying, like, when you think of some of those one-liners that, like, Cloud or Squall, some of those type folks would kind of have, where it just has that edge factor, but it is a good enough type pitch. Not like this is a bad game whatsoever, you just have to stay within the format. But I look after it. This is a briefer type episode, because I beat the boss sooner than I thought I was going to, but I just didn't know what to do here. I was trying to figure it out as far as those pairs going to happen. All you have to really do is just leave this area right here, and then it would have been taken care of. So, this is a snappy type one within the pitch behind. I was thinking, I mean, you would think it would have been the format as far as just exiting the ice area and just climbing up like the tower as far as those pitches can have. I don't know why you had to exit the area and go back to having to go back to all the puzzles again just to get to the. I don't know why they did that. That's one thing about role playing games. Some role playing games, when you're in like a dungeon where you fight a boss, they will require you to leave the dungeon as far as those spirits can happen. And in some cases, I mean, shout out to the people who actually beat the boss but then die on like the grinding tendons because they use all their potions or phoenix downs or something like that. And then this is kind of the format as far as saying that they just didn't have like enough equipment to exit the dungeon. I mean, and of course, if you don't save, I mean, it's just the fashion. That can be really nightmarish to have to do a fight that really took a lot out of you within those spirits. So you get the concept of what I mean. But some games like Final Fantasy will make you have to, I mean, it's part of the work. I mean, I think it teaches like effort within those pitches, but it can piss you off in certain tangents if you're not with that concept. It's this kind of repetition, but I look after it. So as the pitch behind, so snappy type episode within the format, there's going to be more of these. I'm going to get some of these more recorded than some of those type fairs. We'll see how these later bosses turn out, but subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night, folks. Stay tuned for some more of these type ones and such.